Hi all, I've just set up for filming and you can probably hear the rain decided that was a good time to come. So I'm hoping you can all hear me. Obviously I'm in my conservatory, which is now my filming and photography room. So it's very loud on the roof and we try to reduce the rain sound in editing, but if I don't, really sorry. But this is the best room for me to film in. As you see, different background. Mally promptly took the Rings of Change blanket back because he says it's his and I'm not allowed it. So this is actually one of my very first makes. This is a granny square, just basic giant granny square. I made a gazillion of these when I first started crocheting many years ago. And I made this one for me, and then Duncan, Kurt, Mally and Reese all have their own ones with different colours. My twin sister and her children all have their own ones with different colours. And at the time, my sister's boyfriend, the father of my nieces and nephews, he had one as well, so they were still together at that point. So I made quite a few. By the time I got to my mum, I was sick of Granny Square, which is why I made her broomstick lace one. But so it's very old, but as you see, it's held up really well. And that's through many moves, many washes, many kids pulling it around them and using it at nights, and I think it's really warm. So I'm still quite impressed with it. So I've got some questions so that we can chat away. Not many questions, because I only asked what yesterday, thankful. So I don't want to give many of you time. So if you can still add them, and add questions in the comment of this one. It's just so I've got something to chat about while I crochet along. Because I miss you all, and I want to chat, but I've been doing the same thing over and over again for so long. I've got not much to talk about. And as you know, that's making toys. I took a week off. I've not made any toys. I really should, but I'm hoping, which seems weird to hope that I don't make many sales, but I'm hoping that I'm correct in assuming that sales will reduce a bit now Christmas over, and I should be able to do a 2-week cycle instead of a 2-day cycle for toys. So I haven't made any yet. I'll get some done today probably. But what I did do, and I'm working on what I will be working on while I chat, try that, is a bigger version of what I'm about to show you around different colours. So I'm using up more scrap yarn. I've recently been a little brutal and frogged a bunch of projects that I'm not feeling anymore, so I'm not going to do. So I've got lots of scrap balls of yarn. After running down my scrap balls of yarn. So I've made this scarf. Stand. It has a fringe on the sides, so there you go. So you can see the colours. So again, this is just 2 rows of each colour and repeated twice. There's 8 colours in this one. This was yarn that I was using on the scrap basket, but I took that apart. I've got from the scrap baskets now, and I made this instead. I quite like it. This will go up on the store. I hope to be able to take decent photos at the weekend, and then anything I've got finished that's not going to the bookshop will go on the web store, which has been a little neglected because everything I was making was selling before I could get it up in the shop. But yeah, what do you think? And so now I'm doing a rainbow version, but I'm doing it twice as long. So that was actually DK weight yarn, 200 stitches on a 5mm hook. I don't know if you'll see that, I'm probably not close enough. So now I'm doing 400 stitches with DK weight yarn and a 5mm hook. But there's slightly less colours. So the rainbow has 7, not 8, for basic anyway. So I've got this much done on it. So just the upright way, the red, orange and yellow, but it starts here and goes on forever. There you go. So it's very long, but I wanted one that you could wrap around a few times. The chair, so I really should lower this camera down or sit on a cushion and make myself higher, but let me see if I can in a minute. Hold on. Hey, can you hear that as soon as I stopped? I will edit this, but you can hear how loud the rain. I also just spilled my Pepsi everywhere, so I'm just cleaning up. I'll be back in a minute. How can I film in this? I mean, really. Hang on, rain won't stop. I am hoping that I can edit out the rain. If I can't, this whole video will be scrapped and I'll try to film it again at a later date. Because I've checked the weather and it's not going to stop for several more hours. And I need to film. So, I have no idea what we were discussing beforehand because it's been a while and the rain still won't stop. So, I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm doing the rainbow blanket. I remember saying that. Not blanket, scarf. Oh wow! The rain's really thrown me. So I edited the camera height, made the tripod lower, so hopefully you can see more of me. So first question is on my Instagram account. I haven't had many questions through yet, so I'll keep an eye on them and add more to the next video. From the Addicted to Yarn podcast. It's like, how were my holidays? Quiet. It was lovely. Christmas Day we went up to my in-laws because we don't go anything on Christmas Day. So we went up to my in-laws and had a meal. And then we opened our presents and things. And then we come home and we were shattered, so it was rested for the rest of the day. But we played a lot of games, not my in-laws, but over the holiday part, we played a lot of card games and board games. Had a really good time. I had my niece and nephew for some of it. They came on the 27th and stayed until this last Sunday, I think. But anyway, we had a really good time. We played lots of board games. My niece and nephew are now into Magic the Gathering, which is what my eldest is into, and he got me and Duncan into that so that he'd have someone to play with here. He kicks our ass every time because he's like really good. And he has way better cards than us because we seem to have this amazing luck to get all of these really rare cards. But he's bought a lot. We've got a lot to make up really good decks, whereas me and Duncan have just got basics. We have proper full Commander decks. We play Commander style. For those who know anything about Magic the Gathering, we play Commander. But yeah, so we had a good few games now, and that was really good fun. And then we played Bennies and Sevens. Bennies, I think I've mentioned before, what I call Bennies is not what most of the internet seems to call Bennies. I don't know what you guys call it, but we played that. We played Sequence, which is kind of cross between the board game and the card game, which is really good fun. I'm trying to think what else we played. Linky, it's a question quiz type game. That's really good fun. And then we had some movie nights and movie days, and generally just had a relaxed, fun, no stress time, which is the way I like to spend my holidays. It was really good. Yeah, we had a really lovely time. I hope you all had a lovely time on your holidays, whether you actually went away on holiday or went to family. I think it's important to remember, as much as you want to be with your family on Christmas, if it's dangerous to your mental health to go with your family, don't go. Just say, sorry, but I can't, you know. Whereas I'm quite lucky, though my family often do my head in. I can handle them for short periods of time, and I love them. So yeah, my holidays were pretty good. Maybe we have a health update. Not much to update you on. Pain is still a problem, migraines are still a problem, fatigue and brain fog all still a problem. But the new doctor I went to see just before Christmas, and I spoke to him about pain clinic. He was actually really shocked that my other doctors had refused to send me to one, so he said he'd look into it. And I actually got a questionnaire through from the overseeing thing of pain clinics, I suppose, I don't know. I had to fill out a very long and personal questionnaire and send it back, and then they will decide if they can see me. So even though I've been referred, it's up to them to whether they'll actually see me, whether they think they can do anything to help me or not. So at the moment, it's just wait and see. But I mean, they ask some personal questions. I think they were even asking what my sex life is like. Why do they need to know that? But I answered all the questions because I didn't want them to turn around and say, oh, well, you're not cooperative, so we're not going to see you. So I answered everything, no matter how personal it was. And we'll just have to wait and see. The problem is, the questionnaire is one of those ones where it's kind of like multiple choice. You agree with the statement very strongly, or you very strongly disagree, and everything in between. So it's not really a good questionnaire for someone with multiple conditions, because I was only supposed to answer things about my pain, but everything's linked in together. Doing one thing leads to another thing and all that, so I'm hoping they will agree to see me and then I can discuss it better with them then. We'll just have to wait and see. Otherwise, it's been 2 years now since I had my major stroke-like hemiplegic migraine. So that's really good. My blood pressure is under control, and though they keep saying it's nothing to do with my blood pressure, at the end of the day, my blood pressure peaked to a really high, dangerous level, and that's when I had the stroke-like hemiplegic migraine. It basically looks like a stroke, it mimics a stroke, but supposedly we recover faster than a stroke because it's not long-term, even though it's taken me 2 years to actually get I'm still not walking as far as I used to, or hardly at all. I'm still not back up to the health level I'd got myself to, but I'm getting there slowly. I mean, I'm still having to use my wheelchair to go out in long walks, like if I want to go around town, so I can use my wheelchair. I can go from the disabled car park to my shop to drop off stuff on my crutches, because it's a short distance. But if I'm wanting to go actually around town, then I have to use my wheelchair. I've tried a couple of times to walk around Tesco shopping with my crutches, and it's not been good. So I stick to my wheelchair on that too. It's just the fatigue, the pain, the dizziness. It's really bad. So, I've relearned my limits. That's what last year was about, relearning what I'm capable of doing. And it's not as much as I like. It's not as much as I used to be able to do. But it is slowly improving. And I'm hoping if the pain clinic works, it will improve some more. But I still don't have an explanation given to me about my hemiplegic attacks. It's basically been left. If you had one, that's it. They've not told me anything else or anything, so I'm still learning. I still get the numbness, I still get the weakness, I still get the pain, I still get all the migraine auras and the visual disturbance and the hearing disturbance, and the shakes and all that sort of stuff. I just don't get the full stroke parallelism. You know what I mean? So it's not too bad. I'm not going to complain. It's doing well. And I think this year of taking things from me and not pushing myself, hence why there wasn't a lot of YouTube videos from me last year, I think it really helped my mental being. I'm feeling much better in myself, which I'm happy with, and I'm continuing to do that this year. So I'm not going to push myself. I'm not going to promise I'm going to get videos out, but I'm still going to try. I'll do what I feel I can do. The end of last year, it did get a little hectic with the shop because I was making a lot more toys than I anticipated I'd need to make. Not complaining, it was wonderful to sell those toys, but it did get a bit much near the end. Which is why this week I'm just taking, and then, and next week I'll go back to getting the shop done and the study done and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm feeling much better, so that's good. What else we got? How did I meet my hubby? For those who don't know, my husband is called Duncan, and he's been in a couple of my videos, maybe more, I can't remember. Believe it or not, my twin sister was dating his best mate when we were 14, and me and Duncan were both single, and they're like, that's it, now you're going out, you're dating. His best mate come down and visit my sister, brought him along and said, you're both single, you might as well date. And we did. And though we've had a lot of ups and downs, and we've broken up a few times and got back together a few times, on and off, we've been dating since we were 14. So quite a while, because I know I'm 39, I'm 40 this year. So, we've been going for quite a while, but we've had a few breaks in between and other boyfriends and girlfriends and things. but we keep ending up back together. And it's not been easy. It's been very hard. We've had a lot of problems. I'm not going to say that we're a happily married couple, but we're working on it, which is what you're supposed to do. You know, you marry someone, you work on it, you try to fix things, and then if you can't, you walk away. Well, we're still trying to fix things, but it's going better each time. So, you know, that's life, isn't it? You don't give up. You just keep going and trying. Unless, of course, the other half is being stubborn and refusing to do anything to fix anything, then you're just like, well, if you don't want to work with it, then you go. But we're trying, you know. So yeah, we've been going a long time. My sister is no longer dating his best mate, or what is former best mate. In fact, we've not seen him for many, many years. Probably since we were 16 or something. We kind of disappeared. But yeah, that's how we got together. So it was a setup from my sister and her boyfriend at the time, his best mate. Who knew that would work and we'd still be together all these years later? We certainly didn't. What else we got? How did you get into crafting and what was your first knit crochet project? I've always loved crafting, but I was a very more artistic side of it. When I was in school, I did GCSE art and I did GCSE art and textiles. So the art was obviously drawing and painting and all that sort of stuff, and then the art and textiles was sewing and that sort of thing, created in artistic ways. So I've always enjoyed crafting. I'm very out of practice on my art now. My work was good enough that they kept my GCSE work to show next year's work. I never got it back actually. But you know, years move on and I don't have time, so I'm back to practicing my art, but I still don't do as much as I would like, but I'm hoping this year to fit more in. I think the rain's about to get louder. Sorry if it is. But yeah, that's how, so I've always done that, but when I was 24, I don't know why, I was pregnant with Mally, so it might have been something to do with that. I just decided to pick up knitting again, and I knit a blanket and a pink furry muff, you know, the things you put your arms through, a bit like twiddle muffs, but the original old-fashioned, just keep your hands warm things, and I knit a cloak to go with that. I won't show you a picture of it, even though I have a picture of it, because it's actually got my middle son posing in it, and he might kill me. So, I won't show you, but yeah, that was the first things I made. They weren't bad, to be honest, even looking back at them now. The blanket was not exactly straight, but it's because at that time I didn't know about blocking. The stitches stayed the same, and my tension was mostly the same, but it got stretched out, and I didn't know to block it at that point, you know. And then it wasn't until 2007, I think it was, we moved to Southampton, and back then there was a Yahoo group, Freecycle, when it was first coming out, and a lady on there offered to teach people to crochet, and so we all agreed to get together, and I was the only one to turn up, but she was so good at teaching that one lesson had me crocheting every day since. People had tried to teach me when I was younger to crochet. I was a former child actress. I was more of an extra and theatre. But I remember on one of the films that I was being an extra on, a lady there was crocheting. She tried to teach me, but I couldn't get it. I was, between 7 and 9 at that point. I can't remember exactly what, because I stopped acting at 9. I think 9 was the last thing I'd done, which was a theatre play. But I just moved, and so from 9 until when I was 27, 2007, I didn't touch crochet at all. And then this lady offered, I'll give it a go, and yeah, she was brilliant. And I think it's almost every day since then I've done some form of crochet. I still knit, but I don't do knitting as much because crochet is much quicker. But yeah, I enjoy it, and the rest of the class that I do, I kept slowly adding more classes, like, oh, that looks good, let's give that a go, and oh, that looks good, let's give that a go, and that's why there's so many craft things I do now, and I will probably pick up more and do more at some point, because, well, I'm a little obsessed about crafting. It keeps me sane. Yeah, so that's the Instagram one. So let's check the Facebook one, shall we? If we get it to load and the rain stops. There we go. Okay. So I'll start with Joe's questions, then I'll move on to Sarah. So Joe's like, how did you persuade Duncan into the art of crochet, or did he express his own interest? I begged him, basically. I needed some help to get things knocked out fast enough, and he needed some stress relief because he was becoming a grumpy old git, quite frankly. And I'm like, you need to pick a hobby. And the only hobby he wanted to do was to fix up motorbikes. Well, we're not made of money, so we couldn't afford that. So I'm like, just try crochet. Once you get the hang of it, you might realise that you enjoy it, and it'll help de-stress you. And it did. And now he's off, and he even takes crochet with him to do on the train to work and back. So yeah, it was basically me begging him, just because it was part of saving our relationship. He had to de-stress, he had to stop being a grumpy little git, so he needed a hobby. Because he'd go to work, he'd come home, he'd take care of me and the kids and the house and all that. Because at that point I was too ill to do anything. And it was a real strain. So for my sanity and his, and for our relationship, I begged him to take up knitting or crochet. He can knit and he can crochet, but he just does crochet now. In fact, all of my boys can knit because they were all taught to knit as part of their patience and reading things, but none of the rest do it anymore. I doubt they'll ever pick it back up, but they might, who knows. But now, yeah, Duncan has no problem helping me do any of it now, which is really nice. But he's started his own YouTube channel now, so he might not have time to help me out with crochet so much. He's got, if you haven't seen his channel, I'll link it in the description because I can't remember what it's called. Oops. It's mountain biking Lego in his name or something, I can't remember. But he does, we go to Moores Valley. I think I'm sure I've mentioned before, Moores Valley is a country park not too far away from us. And they have bike trails, and he rides his mountain bike around there and he films it on the sports camera thing, and he puts that up there. And he also likes to build Lego, we all do in this house, so he's been filming some of that and that up there. And he also likes to do some games, there's some card games, computer card games, like, what's what he just, well, it might have been the Magic the Gathering Arena, I think he just put up, but he also does Hearthstone, and he plays StarCraft, and, I don't know, computer games that I have no interest in. And so he's starting to record them and put them up. He's done some ones without voiceover, but he's considering doing voiceover ones now. So he's going to have a hobby that's much more him, and hopefully that will help him relax even more. So, how long does it take you to whip up those bears? The small and medium ones take less than a day each. If I'm really lucky and uninterrupted, I can knock 2 out a day, but usually only knock 1 out a day. Because, I need to eat and drink and speak to things, and I have to edit and do all things. So usually it's only 1 a day. The large and extra large teddies take me 2 to 3 days. I can't work any faster because there are a lot more stitches. But it's only 2 patterns, so the small and the medium is making the same pattern, and I just changed the weight of the yarn, so that's why they take the same time. And the large and the extra large is the same, it's 1 pattern, and I just changed the weight of the yarn, so they take the same time. But yeah, so in a week I can easily knock out a small and a large, or medium and an extra large, or whatever I'm doing. Duncan also helps me knock out some of them. He can't sew them together, I sew them all together because I'm the one that's safety tested, but we have checked his actual crochet technique and the cording and things, and that all works. We just haven't got round to safety testing his sewing yet, so I stick to doing that for now. So yeah, if at push and I'm having insomnia, I can usually knock out one small, one medium, one large, and one extra large in a week. But that's my insomnia, barely sleeping stuff, which has been a lot recently. So which is a good thing. So it got me to knock out enough for the shop. But yeah, they don't take too long. And then, not sure if you mentioned before, but are any of your siblings crafters? No. I'm a child of 6. I have my twin sister and me. We are the oldest. And then I have a brother. And then another brother. And then I have a sister. And then another brother. The youngest brother is 10 years younger than me. And the youngest sister is 9 years younger than me. And they're actually only my half brother and sister. My mum and dad had divorced at that point, and my mum was with someone else who we won't go into because but none of them, in fact they all think I'm crazy and a little lady doing all this crafting, though now that I'm actually in a shop and making money, I was making money on the website, but because it wasn't in a shop I don't think they really took my business seriously. But now that I'm in currently 2 different shops, but I'm pulling out Phoenix, I think they're suddenly taking it a lot more seriously, realising that actually, yes, this is a business, and I wasn't just saying it was, I genuinely am selling stuff to the general public. And it's a shame that it took me getting an actual shop for them to take it seriously, but, life's life. But yeah, no, none of them craft. My mum is actually a really good artist. She showed us stuff from when she was a kid, all the stuff she used to draw, and it was amazing. But she stopped doing it and she hasn't picked it back up. I keep trying to encourage her to pick up crafting and pick up a new hobby, but she's not interested, and none of the rest are interested, which is a shame. But I think I get my craftiness from my nan, my mum's mum. I get a lot from her, even though she's not taught me. It's obviously in the blood somehow, because she crochets and knits, and I didn't know that until after I was doing it. She loved to cook fresh meals from scratch, which is what I used to do before I got ill. She liked to wear bright coloured hippie-ish type clothing, and I do. Not that you can tell nowadays, because I wear what I can fit into nowadays. But yeah, it turns out me and my nan are very much alike. I'm supposed to be crocheting when I do this, and I haven't done a single stitch. It's because I talk with my hands, that's the problem. So my auntie Helen does glass painting, but she does it as a hobby, not as a business. My auntie Avril used to do cake decorating. I don't know if she still does. I used to do cake decorating, but I don't anymore. And I think that's it for the entire family, and I've got a large family. Many cousins and things, and I don't think any of them do any crafting. So it's not something that's grown up in our family, but it's splattered around, So that's all Joe's questions. So I picked this up and I'm going to put it back down now to answer Sarah's questions. So she's like, would like to know about reading weaving patterns and what's the difference between Heddle and inkle weaving. Did I say that right? Heddle? I keep getting moaned at by people. Why is the camera on all? I've lost focus. What happened there? Let's make it focus again. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I know people moan at me when I pronounce it the wrong way. Heddle, Heedle. I don't care. It means the same thing. But so what's the difference between Heddle and inkle weaving? So Heddles are actually on inkle looms as well as frame looms, the proper looms, table looms, and that sort of thing. But on those type of looms, you have a solid Heddle. It's like, I think most of them are like a wooden frame with plastic inserts with holes in that you put them all in. So that's more rigid Heddle. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? I don't have one of them. I'm saving for one of them, but I don't have one of them yet. Whereas on an inkle loom, you use cotton for Heddles or whatever. You just use a string of some kind to create the Heddles. So individual things. They don't come in a frame. So they both have heddles, but they're just made of different things. But they both basically work in the same way. Differences with a rigid heddle, you move the actual heddle. With the strings versions, you move the actual warp and weft. Why is the focus? Is it my eyes or is the focus going? Because I can't see what's going on here. We're back again. So yeah, they both do have heddles. Difference with inkle loom weaving is obviously it creates a band, and you can do much bigger things on the proper looms, which is why I want one. There is 2 types of weaving that I'm aware of. One of them, the weft shows through, and the other one, the warp shows through. Weft and warp are the ones that go all the way the length, and then the one that you use to go in and out of the strings. I'll explain better on another video where I can physically show you the items. That would be easier. But patterns tend to work roughly the same. As I said, I've not used a big loom yet, so I'm only going from what I've read and remember reading, so it may be wrong, don't quote me on it. But if you've seen my other inkle loom videos, I did this pattern on one. I never got round to filming the words, I'm really sorry, but life got hectic. But as you can see, it's individual squares. Now the black is the pattern threads. I still have that ankle loom, I think. Did I take it off? Hold on, let me just check behind the thing in a minute. That's where it all is. Oh no, I took it off. I've already taken it off. I don't know where I've stuck it then, so I can't show you it. If you check back on my speckled pattern video, that's what this pattern was from. So the black is the pattern threads, and the white, so the uncoloured ones, are your background threads. And so for this one, you'd do a pattern thread, 2 background threads, a pattern thread, you go along. That's explained in that video. But in order to create that, you usually have a pattern to show you how to set up your loom. Now, I don't have one to show you at the moment, but I may be breaking copyright showing you this. I'm really sorry if I am, but it's the only way I can think of explaining. Now, this is card one, so it's slightly different, but hopefully I get my point across. So you have your setup. So you always have a little chart thing like that, and that shows you your setup of where you have to put which threads. So for the basic one like this, you'd have 2 rows. You'd have your open thread row and your heedled thread row, and you would have it marked out if you want to put a background thread in it or a pattern thread in it by the colour, So if we pretended the bottom row was one of those things, the first open one would have a pattern thread, and then you'd have the header one with a background, and then an open with a background, and then a header with a background. That's how it would be shown. That's how you work out what you got put on. And then for the pickup, you manipulate those threads. For card weaving, I haven't got one of the cards here to show you. I don't know if there's a picture of what one of the cards look like. There's several different types. There we go. So hopefully you can see that. I can't see. The cards have 4 holes, and that pattern I showed you just now, I can't show you the same one because I don't remember what page it was on. But you can just see there's ABCD, ABCD on there, and it tells you which colour to put in which slot on the cards, which will then create the pattern that you're going to be weaving on the cards. And it's the same sort of basic process. You have a set up pattern, threading pattern, a warping pattern that you're going to see where you put those coloured threads and where you put your background and the colours that you want to come out. They don't all have to be black and white, you could literally have you have much more complicated patterns with much more colours in them. You just have to make sure you've pre-planned which ones go where to be able to weave your pattern and not get in a fuddle. I'm really not explaining it very well. I'm so sorry. I do plan on getting better tutorials out for the weaving. It's just finding the time, because I do have to come up with my own patterns so that I'm not breaking copyright on someone. Pretty risky showing you them, but I'm sure hopefully the person won't mind that I've shown you them. It's a good book actually. If you're interested in doing card weaving, then this one is Candace Crockett Card Weaving. And it's really a really good book to learn card weaving from. That's what I've been using, as well as online. Can't remember the name of the person I was learning online for. It starts with an L. Where'd she come from? She's Scandinavian. I can't remember now. Laverne. Oh, I don't know. I'll try to find the link if I can and put it down in the bottom. But she was really good at teaching several different ways of weaving. And that's how I've learned. So I'm still an extreme beginner, but I try to do the Inkloom videos so there's someone who is also extreme but can at least get a basic understanding of it, and then maybe go to a more experienced person for the more complicated patterns until I'm more experienced. I hope that's answered your question a little. I know I'm not very good at doing it, but maybe it helps. If it's not, comment down below what specifics you're looking for, and I'll try to answer them next time for you. So that's actually all the questions I have. As I said, I haven't had many responses because I didn't put it out for long, but I think I've spoken for a long time. I have no idea how long this video is. I managed to get just that many stitches done because I talk with my hands. But now the rain stops. Now that I checked the weather app and it said it wasn't going to stop for ages, which is why I filmed over it. Typical. Never mind. I'm going to go. Hopefully this video will make it out to you today. If the rain is so distracting and it's just such a bad video, I'll scrap it and I'll refilm. If the rain holds off, I'll refilm today. If not, I'll try later on in the week. I don't know. But I will see you all soon, so you'll take care. Bye!